Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. Today we are reviewing The Immortal Hulk, Volume 6, We Believe in Bruce Banner. Pretty cool stuff, a lot of political commentary in this one, so if you aren't into kind of political statements in your art, one, that's what art is for, so good luck. And two, this one might not be for you, but the political message might surprise you also. And it's a really good book. It really is. It's got a dope villain too. So, quick read up at the back of the book. Bruce Banner is just getting started. He has an underground fortress. He has powerful allies. He's even got henchmen. He's got everything he needs to declare total war on human society. Bruce Banner is the most dangerous man in the world. Now the Immortal Hulk is taking the fight to Earth's lords and masters, the Roxxon Corporation. Ooh, they're like a big corporate entity that does a lot of bad shit. They were in War of the Realms, which I reviewed. But when you mess with the Minotaur, you get the horns. Meanwhile, who are the members of the new Teen Brigade? And what role will they play in the Immortal Hulk's newest scheme? Plus, years ago, the first Gamma Bomb unleashed a terrifying creature with impossible strength who raged against the world. The authorities gave the beast a name the whole world knows. But it was someone else's name first. And now the Hulk that was has returned to take that name back. And you're looking at him on the screen right now, actually. Collecting Immortal Hulk 26 through 30 by Al Ewing, Joe Bennett, Tom Riley, Matas Brigada, Ruby Jose, Bildarno Bravo, Mark Deering, Sean Parsons, Cam Smith, Paul Mounts, and Chris O'Halloran. Rated T for Teen from Marvel Comics. Pretty good book. I really enjoyed it. So let's talk about this. So Bruce Banner kind of sends out a message to the world that he wants to destroy humanity. And he's being very heavily influenced by the Devil Hulk, by the way. He's saying he wants to destroy humanity. But when he says that, he doesn't mean he wants to wipe humans off the face of the earth. What he means is, hey, I want to destroy what we currently call humanity. Build a world that's completely different, where humans are completely new and they aren't destroying the world and all this stuff, you know? But does he really mean that? Maybe we'll have to find out. He has a conversation with Amadeus Cho, the totally awesome Hulk, who I liked in Champions, but by himself I wasn't really a big fan of him. I only read a couple issues of his book, but I couldn't really get into him as the Hulk. I liked the Champions team, but, you know, that's that. But they have this big philosophical discussion, and it's very interesting, and we see a lot of political stuff happening throughout the book. We see that Namor appears to be working with the Hulk, maybe? Because he also kind of wants to get rid of this human world that's polluting his oceans and whatnot. And we see the CEO of the Roxxon Corporation, who is a Minotaur. He used to hide his Minotaur form, but now he's just out in the open about it. He betrayed the entire realm, the entire dimension in the War of the Realms, and it seems like there were no consequences for him. Now he's just running the company. It's like this, you know, commentary on how big corporations basically own the government, and there's never really any consequences for them. And he's talking to his board of directors about all this stuff, and etc. Like, the numbers released to the public about how long climate change will take to destroy the planet are actually fake. They have the real numbers, and it's like within the lifetimes of everyone in the boardroom, and one of them's like scared because his grandchildren are going to die, but the Minotaur doesn't care because, you know, if the world dies, he can just go to another realm. He doesn't care. Just like the owners of all these big corporations and oil, etc., don't care about destroying the planet here because they're going to be dead when climate change, you know, destroys the planet, and they won't fucking give a shit because everyone will be dead, and they only care about themselves, right? So, you know, Hulk goes to Roxxon, busts up their servers. It completely destroys all of Roxxon's websites, all their social media, so they can't like feed people fake news articles and stuff anymore, which is really insane. And we kind of get the story of this guy. He's like a far right traditional guy, and his daughter's like a far left, you know, protester, and they kind of have these horrible feelings towards each other. And he's a security guard at Roxxon, and she's protesting Roxxon. And there's a point where he recognizes his daughter in a crowd of protesters and tries to shoot his own daughter because Roxxon has convinced him that it's the right thing to do. Just like all this QAnon bullshit and etc. is creating all these like Capitol stormers and etc. I know I'm getting political here, but that's what the book's about, you know? And then the Hulk shows up, and there are all these like protesters for big change rallying behind the Hulk. But here's the thing. The Hulk also has secret plans for the planet. The Hulk is using the protesters as a weapon against Roxxon because they're in his way, not because it's the right thing to do. Right? So I almost feel like the message in this book isn't, you know, right, bad, left, good. It's, hey, everyone in power, no matter what side they are on, they are corrupt. And they are using you. They are using you to get their way, whether you are on the left or on the right. The people in power, the people with authority, they are manipulating you in some way, shape, or form, no matter what side you're on. And that's kind of not something you see a lot, you know? Most media picks a side, and you don't really kind of see this, you're being manipulated by everyone. Just fuck them all mentality as much. Is his arm getting lower? Is his arm lowering over there? It doesn't really matter. A lot of you probably mostly just listening to this anyways. But yeah, there's a fuck ton going down here. And the Minotaur actually goes to get this guy off of an island. This is Zimnu. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name. The version of him you're looking at is more of a classic version. He has a very slight redesign in this book. But there's actually a bunch of kaiju that Roxxon has made that are released onto cities. There's one that looks a lot like King Ghidorah. There's one that's very Ghidorah-esque, and its name is Harryhausen, obviously named after the late, great Ray Harryhausen, one of the biggest inspirations in my life, and my favorite animator of all time. Another one's called O'Brien, obviously referencing Willis O'Brien, the animator who did The Lost World, King Kong, and worked with Ray Harryhausen on Mighty Joe Young, etc. And then we get another, and that one's kind of like a two-headed giant, I think, or something like that. It might not have two heads, maybe it's four arms. And then there's like kind of a squid one, which is called Lovecraft, obviously after H.P. Lovecraft. Even though all his books were like metaphors for why you shouldn't like other races, which is pretty fucked, but his monsters look cool. And then you have Bradbury, which is another monster, kind of a big one that like throws up molten rock, big blue creature. Very cool, and named after one of my favorite writers of all time, and lifelong best friend of Ray Harryhausen. Yeah. So all those attack targets that are critical of Roxxon or competitors of Roxxon, things like that. And the Hulk kind of goes to fight them. And he kind of reverts from Devil Hulk back to the big guy, which is kind of the more me smash kind of Hulk. The Hulk smash, the one that talks like a child or caveman. Very simplistic, quick to anger. And Rick Jones shows up with new gamma powers. They aren't the A-bomb powers. They're different. More like even energy manipulation, flight, that kind of thing. Alpha flight. Sorry, gamma flight. I keep doing that. Is helping fight them. And the monsters do eventually get defeated, of course. And all these parasites come out of one of them. Like it's full of smaller monsters. And then Zimnu here, or however you pronounce his name, Zimu, shows up and kind of captures all the parasites, and the Hulk sees him, and he's like, Zimu's here like, I'm here to save all of you from these monsters. And, yeah. Is he, though? We'll have to see. We will have to see. But that is it for that volume of Immortal Hulk. I think I'm just going to jump into 7 next time. Just go ahead and get all the Immortal Hulks out of the way. Why not, right? Just go ahead and get them all out of the way. I'll have some more like novel and book reviews coming, as well as a few more action figure reviews, and some Safari Sams in the future, hopefully, as well. And if you want to check out my books that I have written, you can check out my Kindle Amazon author page, which is in our link tree in the description below, as well as several other things. So that's it. Thank you all once again, and I'll see you all next time.